All right, so North Korea has just pulled the curtain back on a new weapon, and it's making some serious waves across Asia. And let me tell you, this is not just another missile test. We're talking about a strategic shift here, one that could totally change the game on the Korean Peninsula.
Yeah, get this. Their own state media is calling it Kim Jong-un's latest doomsday toy. I mean, that's a pretty provocative name, right? But once you see what this thing is, you'll get exactly why they're using language like that. So let's dive in. What is this new weapon, and what does it really tell us about North Korea's big picture ambitions?
Okay, the main event, the centerpiece of this whole reveal, is a brand new submarine. And not just any submarine. This one is nuclear capable. And this thing is a monster. We're hearing it weighs in at 8,700 tons. Now, to put that in perspective, that is way, way bigger than anything else in North Korea's fleet. It's in a whole different league, one that can pose a really serious strategic threat. Just its size, that alone is sending a message. The official term Pyongyang is using is a strategic guided missile submarine. So what does that mean? Well, it means this sub has one job and one job only, to be a mobile, underwater launch pad for nuclear weapons. And that's a huge deal, strategically speaking. Think about it. Land-based missiles are one thing, but a submarine, they can be almost impossible to find and stop before it's too late. And you've got Kim Jong-un himself calling this an epic-making leap for his nuclear arsenal. That's not just some throwaway military term. No, that's a political statement. It's him telling the world that, in his view, North Korea has just leveled up its ability to deter its enemies. And don't think this is just some blueprint or a far-off dream. No way. One submarine expert, Moonkick, made a great point. Showing off a nearly finished vessel like this is a huge signal. He thinks it could be hitting the water for sea trials within months. That means this threat could be real and operational a lot sooner than anyone was expecting. But here's the thing. This sub didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's actually part of a much bigger and honestly more alarming picture of military expansion. Yeah, the timing of this submarine reveal was no accident. It happened right alongside a bunch of other big military moves. And when you put it all together, you see a picture of a coordinated and really rapidly accelerating arms program. So at the exact same time the world is looking at the submarine, what else is happening? Well, Kim Jong-un is personally watching the test firing of new long-range surface-to-air missiles. And on top of that, he's ordering his weapons factories to ramp up production big time. This isn't just about one weapon. It's a full-on military expansion from the bottom of the ocean all the way up to the sky. So the big question is why? Why this sudden, very public display of military power? Well, if you ask North Korea, they've got a very clear answer. They're pointing the finger straight at South Korea and the United States. Kim Jong-un is basically saying that South Korea's own naval progress, especially their submarine program, which is backed by the US, is an offensive act. And in his eyes, that justifies this huge military buildup as a necessary response. So from Pyongyang's point of view, it's a classic tit-for-tat situation. They look south, they see South Korea building advanced, US-backed subs, and so their response, building their own nuclear sub, is framed as just bolstering up the war deterrent. You can see how this becomes a really dangerous cycle of escalation, right? And what you end up with is exactly that, an escalating standoff on the Korean Peninsula. You have both sides arming up and doing it fast for a conflict they hope never happens. I mean, just look at how fast this is all moving. We got a little peek at the sub's haul back in March. A few months later, boom, the whole thing is unveiled. And at the same time, we have new missile tests and orders to speed up production across the board. This isn't a slow and steady program. This is an all-out sprint to build up their military might. The message coming out of Pyongyang is crystal clear. They are all in on a full-scale naval arms race. And frankly, they don't seem too worried about how that might destabilize the entire region. And that's where we're left, with a really critical question. As North Korea vows to keep pushing forward, and with both sides locked in this escalating arms race, what does this new era of military buildup really mean for the future of the Korean Peninsula?